All right, guys, we are live here. Sorry about the delay, but we're already in the pistol round, and we see 3 of the terrorists already down. It's Fenix Fire versus DwG, and this is the first map. It is going to be Fenix Fire who picked on this map. So, right now, though, their pistol round not really working out. It's going to be Adwait in a 1v3, and he's stuck in Squeaky. You can see that Fabla is just waiting for him to peek out from the top of Highway, but see if he can work this frag here, but definitely Adwait. If he gets this frag onto Fabla's, ooh, he actually gets a headshot in there. So down to 4 HP, Fabla's gonna have to fall back here, but Adwait gonna try and make something work. This is a best of 3, so this is our first map of the evening. We've got Mirage as our second, Overpass as the third. I am Sprawl. By my side is Bach. And again, we apologize for the delay. We had a little bit of server issues. Wanted to switch over to something where you can see the pings pretty much the same across the board, so no advantage to anybody there. So props to both teams for figuring that out. But Adwait, oh, he gets a really nice headshot into Fabian, and Fabulous will be able to finish that off though. So on 4 HP, that could have gotten crazy, but will be DwG picking up the first pistol round here.
And Wise Buy here coming in from Sin, the P90. It's something I would like to see teams do more often, and one on Salmo as well, one on Fabulous, so they're going all in on this SMG play, and I definitely think that's the right idea. More money for the frags, keep it going for 2 rounds, face those armorless opponents, and plus, it's really the counter to the Tech 9. The Tech 9 obviously so deadly at close range, high rate of fire, erratic recoil, way too much damage per bullet. But when you rush with the P90, it's basically giving you the Tech 9 in automatic format. But they're going to be executing onto the A bomb site now, so we'll see what those P90s can do. Fabulous gets one with a grenade. There's going to be 1 frag coming in for the T's. That's Silent taking down Salmo, but those P90s, like we said, Fabulous picking up 3. Sin doesn't get one, but Robbie does. Salmo taking one out as well. So 2-0 now, DwG over Fenix Fire, and the P90 play worked. You see Fabulous sitting at 4 kills now, so definitely worth the money.
Yep, definitely, as, like you said, only losing 1 player. Can't go wrong with that, as the economy will be growing here. The only downside with the P90 is it's the only SMG that still gives you $300 per kill. So it's basically like a rifle in that sense, but definitely the high rate of fire, great on those anti-eco rounds. But we're going to see a B-side rush here. Fabulous with some really nice flashbangs prevents this rush, as the more time you give these CTs to set up, the worse it's going to look, as it looks like we might see a flawless round here. No, Silent will get one onto Robbie, but that's going to be the only one. So 1 frag in 2 eco rounds for Fenix Fire. We can see that their monetary situation, usually, if you get a couple more frags, might be a little bit better of a buy, but regardless, they've got AKs on the field, and at least a decent nade set on Ellie and Silent.
Yeah, Silent's the one with 3 kills right now for the T-Squad, picking up 1 in the pistol round and 1 in each eco. Adwait, I believe he picked up 2 in the pistol, as Silent was the only one to get a frag in the eco round. So yeah, their money's not looking too good. They never got a bomb plant in any of these early rounds, so their money is okay enough to buy, but yes, they're going to be sitting a little light on that auxiliary hardware, grenades and stuff like that, so not necessarily the greatest. We do see an op on Robbie and Sin, so the double op by 2 Famas, Fabulous, and Salmo picking those up. And then Fabian with the M4. Kits across the board. Robbie's going to make use of that op early on, take down Justin. I believe that was an aggressive push towards Squeaky, as I do see a man down way back towards T-Spawn. So already down to 4 players is Fenix Fire. They're going to make an execute over towards the B bomb site, and there's only 1 man there. That's Sin. Sin peeks, takes out the first one. That's Adwait down. Goes for another one. Gets Roberts, I believe. No, that's Silent. Roberts was able to take down 1, though. That was Fabulous. Salmo here with the help takes out Roberts, and now it's on Ellie, a 1v4. Sin in sight. Ellie just sitting underneath the balcony for heaven, and he's just buying time right now, hoping somebody will peek foolishly, maybe not expect him to be there. Nades and mollies raining out. Ellie does get the op of Sin, so that's a big frag there, but he's probably going to go down here to Robbie 1, and they'll probably be able to find that op. So 2 kills for the T side of Fenix Fire, but not able to complete the round. They're down 4-0 at this point, and they're going to be facing yet another eco situation, so not ideal. And look at this, the Tech 9 armor buy. It's something that I think it was Fenix Fire, if I'm not mistaken, that we saw do this quite a bit in the CS Select show match. I'm not sure if it was Fenix Fire or Phoenix Frost. I can't remember, but they're sharing very similar patterns here, these Tech 9 armor buys.
Yeah, definitely. And I'm 90% sure we were seeing this lineup here, as we did see this exact play, T-side on Cash, just running in with these Tech 9. So Adwait picks up one, a little bit of mid-presence, but I wouldn't call it control in the slightest, as Adwait, oh, finally, oh no, he doesn't get, he got one frag, but this is going to be a 1v3 here, so 2 frags down, not too shabby for the T's, but definitely with that kind of investment, we can see that only got about $1,400 across the board. Kind of want a little bit more for it, but they're going to have pretty darn close to full loss bonus here. Adwait will be able to pick up that M4, but again, in 1v3, he does have plenty of time to play with. Where does he opt to go? We see Sin and Robbie both with the AWPs. And Salmo rocking the M4. So Adwait opting to head over to A. And actually, from our point of view, we can see that that is the less equipped site for the CTs. They've got 2 AWPs at B. Kind of an interesting crossfire, and Robbie's actually dropping a smoke towards B. But soon enough, Adwait going to make a little bit of noise here, as he's got 20 seconds left on the clock. He's going to be walking into sight. He hasn't spot out a single CT as of yet. Salmo hiding behind quad. Ooh, that fire could give Adwait the information, but it will not, as it's going to be Robbie picking up that AWP shot. And I realized that was actually a silenced M4 from quad, so unless he was able to know what kind of noise, which metal texture that was, kind of difficult for him to put a location on it. But 5-0. It's going to be another buy here for Fenix Fire, and they definitely need to put a round on the board pretty soon here before we see the monetary situation on that CT side get out of control.
And it already is almost out of control. Robbie 1 picking up the op early on. He's already got 5K. Sin at 3,500. Samo at 4,500. They're definitely stacking that money pretty high right now. Fenix Fire, on the other hand, not so much. Obviously, sitting on that loss bonus, they're going to be able to buy for the foreseeable future. This double op setup is working out nicely, as Sin and Robbie 1 start out the round taking down Silent and Roberts. Meanwhile, Fabian is taken out by Adwait. Adwait going to get dropped by Fabulous, but Ellie in mid takes down Robbie 1, so that's one of the ops down. It's now a 3v2. Both players back in mid, going towards vent. Justin is in the vent right now. They do have the bomb on the back of Ellie on that roof in mid, and they're just trying to peek quad box right now, make sure there's nobody in the site. Samo, though, holding off over towards Squeaky Door, and he's actually going to push into that. That's a wise play here. They're going to assume that the bomb site has been abandoned. Fabulous playing back towards Z Connector, holding down CT spawn, and Sin still playing in sight with that AWP. He's been doing that for several rounds right now, and it's been working out wonderfully. Fabulous tries to flash out, doesn't work. Justin is there to take him down, so now it's a 2v2. 36 seconds left on the clock. They're going to have to make an execute soon, and this could be the bad decision, as Sin has been holding down this B-bomb site so excellently. And oh no, Sin, what are you doing? Sin getting too aggressive here towards the vent. He's got an op in hand, and he's getting in way too close a range. Manages to sneak around the corner and hold that angle. He's going to get the first one. Will he get the second? No, he does not. Ellie takes him down. 15 seconds now. Ellie's going to go for that plant, and it is a 1v1 situation between him and Salmo.
And Salmo coming over from vents, and he does have a kit. He's got an incendiary and a flashbang, so utility for him. Ellie, though, has no idea, as Salmo just drops in, but now he knows that incendiary does come out, and he will get the flick shot, so lines it up, and maybe not so much of a flick shot, but regardless, holds that angle, gets the frag, a 3K on the round for Ellie, so salvaging that and putting one on the board. Some good work from him, but we're gonna need some more plays like that as Fenix Fire, they pick up their first, but now their economy requires them to pick up 2 in a row. And on the opposite side, DwG, they had enough money to buy in this round after losing one, but definitely not going to be the case in the next. And even in this round, Fabulous has to pick up CZ75 as he's a little bit broke. So we do see a boost up from the CT side. Salmo up in Shroud spot. And they don't use the run boost for this. They're just going to smoke off main and jump right up there. We'll see if this works out, but it does look like we're going to have an A execute here in just a few moments.
And Ellie is already peeking at anticipating a player being up in that position. Based on the smoke, I think they heard the jumping, so Ellie is just holding that angle.
Oh, he sees his knee.
And he sees the leg. Someone's going to have to drop off here, and wise play from him, but there are 2 players. There's 2 players, 3 players actually, right on the other side of that door. Someone's actually going to get wall banged through the door there by Adwait's Tech 9. Molly's going to rain out on door, but it's not going to do too much damage. Adway down to 55, and here comes that Tech 9 push. Fabian gets one, gets two, taking down the bomb. That's a huge kill for the CTs. He's going to get pushed there, and the nade's going to finish him off. Roberts with the Galil finds Sin, and now it's on Fabulous with that CZ75 to try and make something happen here. It's a 1v3. 2 ops and a Galil on the board for Phoenix Fire right now. They look like they are poised to take their second round of this half right now in round number 7. Off is holding the angle from multiple positions here. They got one over towards Forklift, and one was by Redbox. He manages to take down the one by Redbox, takes down the one by Forklift. Unfortunately, Roberts does take him down, but that was excellent play with the CZ75, making some frags happen, and they're only going to be able to keep one op, and based on the money, they could rebuy if Ellie decides to drop for somebody, so they could still hold that double op setup, but I wouldn't advise it. They're going to be facing an eco here from DwG, so there's absolutely no point to be picking up that double op, and you can see they're just going to hold on to the one, go for AKs across the board. So coming into round number 8, Phoenix Fire looking up, pick up round number 3.
And we'll see what kind of play comes out from the CT side, as not necessarily advised to just play standard if you're on these eco rounds, but it looks like they're actually opting to do so. They've put 3 players on the A site, 2 over at B, but nothing too crazy, no aggression, and to be honest though, looks like Phoenix Fire just completely set up and ready for some sort of aggression. So Cash is the kind of map where you can actually work a default on this T side where you can cover most of the angles. There's not a heck of a lot if you're prepared for that kind of surprise. Then there's not a lot of surprises that can really happen. If you've got someone watching Squeaky A main and then someone back B mid, you got someone just hanging out in mid main as well. So you're going to see a B side play though dropping into checkered. It's going to be the T side, and we're going to see Sin goes down. Fabulous playing up on Heaven. Has a bit of a cute angle, but will go down as one of those surprise angles. Hopes to get the frag early on, but really he is a sitting duck in that position. And now Salmo gets dropped. Robbie and Fabian. Is it Fabian? Fabian? I'm not sure. People are going to hate on me for mispronouncing that. But what can you do? It's going to be Robbie and the word I cannot pronounce. What do you go with, Bach? Is it Fabian? Fabian? What am I going to get less hate for?
I mean, I'm sure based on the North American diction, it would be Fabian. If you were in Europe, Robbie, they would say Fabian, as that's probably the more appropriate pronunciation of the name. But yeah, I think people would say Fabian. And I think it's because of your Canadian roots that you're not going to be able to say Fabian too easily. It's gonna naturally roll off the tongue as Fabian.
Yep. Just
nonetheless,
like
though,
Maryland and Maryland.
Yes, exactly. Or processor.
Oh goodness, let's not get started there.
Either
round
way,
number
though,
9.
That didn't necessarily work out too well there, as we were trying to figure out how exactly to pronounce his name. DwG did not pick up the round, so Phoenix Fire gets 3. They're looking pretty good after losing the first 5, picking up 3, but they're back on a gun-on-gun round here. We're going to see DwG with 5 rifles, no AWPs on the board, a couple of nades, no kits, so if they can get that bomb down, it's going to put DwG into that rush position where they have to just, bombard the site for the retake. So we'll see what happens here coming into round number 9, as there's 1 minute and 20 left on the clock and a lot of players in mid for the T side.
And we're going to see an early pick here. Silent goes down as a little player in checkered. Now it's going to be Adweight and takes down Fabulous. So the trade is there. We'll see, though, as Adweight's still the only one inside of B. Roberts, though, in a very threatening position. He's pushed up in Z, and he could be flanking these players, but Robbie actually peeking out aggressively in Heaven. Will get dropped, though, as he's blindsided by Adweight. So Sin on the other side of the smoke. Just waiting for his teammates to show. Oh, that was the flank. I was watching on Sinsgram, like, where did he die from? So that was Roberts coming out of Z connector, but he ended up getting blindsided. That was Fabian. As they're just forced to save here. It is a 2v3, but without a kid on the board, it's going to be another round for Phoenix Fire. So these are building up here, 5-4. This early in the half, definitely Phoenix Fire. They're going to be feeling good about this scoreline. And now Salmo, actually, he's going to drop Ellie. Picks up an op for his effort, and that's going to be a nice pickup if they're able to save here, but it will be another round, so 5-4 our scoreline.
Yeah, and this is sort of best case scenario right now for Phoenix Fire. They're going to lose a lot of guns in this round, though. Their money is good, but not good enough to sacrifice 4 rifles. Actually, it was 3 rifles and an op. Obviously, they'll be able to buy, but that's an expensive round. They didn't care, though. They needed to get 4 rounds at least, so they're happy to pick up that 4th round. The money on the CT side, a little bit better, not amazing. They're going to have that AWP that they were able to save from the last round. A couple of M4s, 1 FAMAS, a couple of kits as well. Little light on the nades. Sin's going to be rocking body armor, so no head armor for him. But we've talked about it before. When you're facing up against AKs, it doesn't really necessarily matter. Obviously, the AK headshot, a one-shot kill. So we'll see what happens here in round number 10 as the T's prepare for an A execute. And they are already moving into the site fast here. 3 players out of Squeaky Door quickly. Fabian's going to take down 2, Adwait and Silent, but that A defense falls apart fast there. Justin and Silent dropping them quickly. Robbie1 with the FAMAS is going to take out 1, takes down 2. Fabless there to help with the retake. A flawless execution on the retake from DwG. Picking up round number 6 here. And that really could have gone either way. Fenix Fire had an excellent execute there. They got into sight. Those 2 players stacked up over top of Redbox. Just didn't even really see it coming. Somehow Fabian got 2 of them before he was traded out. So that was obviously the best case scenario for them. And it's going to put Fenix Fire back on the eco again. And they're looking at a Tech 9 armor buy yet again.
Yeah, I was going to say definitely credit to Fabian there. He was the reason that they were able to hold, because if they both go down with 5 still up, that retake is really, really rough. But the fact that he got 2 as they came out of Squeaky, and Salmo on top of his head did nothing. He was just standing there looking at A main, and they just came out so quickly, he just had no opportunity to do anything. But luckily for the player below him, he was able to get those frags. So opening this round, we see a B-side play. The Tech 9's proven to be effective here, as Robbie will be on the flank, though, and he gets 1 in Ellie. Can he get Adwait here as well? Adwait very lit underneath Heaven, goes down. Bomb has been planted, though, and Justin actually gets hit as he's jumping through fire, so we see him technically burned to death there, but, yeah, good eco round from Fenix Fire regardless. They get a couple frags, a bomb plant. That's not too shabby at all, so they're going to be happy about that, rather than the kind of rounds where you try and rush B and you just all die immediately. We saw the 2 eco rounds after the pistol round loss were pretty much that. They got 1 frag, no bomb plant. So now that they're kind of getting a little bit more work done on these ecos, they're going to be happy about that, as they're able to equip Silent with an AWP here.
And he's going to have to make something happen here, as they're going to be facing off against 2 ops yet again. Robbie1 and Sin both picking up ops in this round. We've got M4s on the rest. Kits on everybody except for Fabless, so fully equipped right now are the CTs of DwG. And look at the mid control yet again. There's 2 players pushing out mid with the bomb, and that's already 1 player off the board in Sin, thanks to Silence AWP. So plenty of mid control right now, as they have 3 players back there. Roberts spamming away over towards sandbags. Ellie and Adwait back towards vents. Robbie1's going to get the first frag for the CTs and even things up at 4v4 as he takes down Justin. So looks like the CTs are going to have to hold off this push on B right now, as 3 players are making their way into the site. Adwait, Ellie, and Silent. Silent holding down from the back of B with an AWP. Adwait and Ellie pushing up quickly here on Fabless. Fabless needs to come up with the big frag. He gets the first one. He's going to go for the peek. Can't find the second one. He was flashed, but Fabless was not able to find the shot. Silent, meanwhile, does take down Fabian. The help for the CT squad now, and Roberts dropping in from vents, going to try and make something happen here. It's a 2v3, 40 seconds left on the round. Samo trying to spam through that smoke, not able to get anything. Fabless gets 1 more. That's 3 on the round. Coming up big from B plat right now, and now it's on Silent. 1v3, and Fabless is going to pick up that 4th frag, a 4K here, and he just shut down that push single-handedly. So a big round from him is going to put Fenix Fire in a mixed buy or eco situation. They have a couple players that could potentially buy, but it looks like they're going to be going for, you guessed it, the Tech 9 armor buy yet again, round number 13. I'll see what they do here. It should be interesting, but I imagine it's going to be another bombard rush on A.
Yeah, looks like they're heading over in that direction, so kind of mixing it up here. But actually, no, we're going for a boost. So they're just going to go right up mid, and being that they've smoked off Z connector, that's not a bad play. Of course, if there's some long-range weapons there, it's a little bit risky, but they've smoked off that 1 location. One of these smokes, though, that was not supposed to go there. We can see it's on top of this little white house at the top of highway, but lots of frags coming in as Robbie, Fabian go down. Bomb site under control, but we do see Salmo coming in from A main. He's gonna be flashing his way out here, but Justin, fully blind, lands the headshot. And this means a 2v4 retake where beautiful shot from Silent as he's able to pick up an AWP. And now it's up to Fabless. He got a 4K in that last round. Can he get a 4K to clutch this round is the question. He doesn't have a kit. I can imagine that there's probably kits somewhere around on site, but needs to focus on the frags. Won't get a single one as Ellie just comes around the corner spamming. That's the thing. Most of the weapons that you see in this game, you expect them to do some sort of stutter step when they're firing at you. Yeah, the Tech 9, not so much. So it's actually a bit of a different beast trying to kill Tech 9 pain trains compared to the standard weapons that you see a lot of players with. So it's just, yeah, a little bit of a difference there, and it proves to be hard to adapt to, as it's just much more difficult to hit those moving targets. So it is going to be Fenix Fire picking up their 5th round, 8-5 our scoreline here.
I'm going to translate that from what Sprawl said into just this. The Tech 9 is stupid, and they need to fix
basically
it. Because it's really dumb that 5 pistols can just rush a site and take out every rifle with ease. The big play in that last round was Silent, who came in with a P250 rushing a garage. Both players were focused on those players on highway, so they didn't even see him come in, and he actually took out both the men in A. So that was actually the big play of the round. So the Tech 9s didn't make that happen, but still, Tech 9s are stupid. They need to just get rid of them. This round, though, Silent with the P250 taking out Fabless, jumps back around that corner in time to pull out his AWP and take down Sin as well. So that's going to open up the B bomb site right now. Robbie, an upper with an M4, is trying to hold the angle, and he is going to get one. That's Adwait off the board before Silent responds. Salmo, meanwhile, did find the head of Justin. That's going to make it a 2v3. They don't have a kit yet again, so they're going to have to quickly execute over towards the A or B bomb site for this retake. Tossing a nade back in the site is going to put Silent down to 12 HP. If they can find a shot through this box, they might be able to take him down, but Silent wisely just ducking back for cover. Gets the kill on Fabian. Now it's up to Salmo. He's going to get jumped by Ellie. Silent with the 4K almost found the ace in that round. Didn't happen for him, though. So like Fabless, only getting 4 of them, but that's a 6th round now for Fenix Fire, coming off the heels of that eco, and now in round number 15, DwG is going to be stuck on an eco, so this could be 8-7, which is definitely better than I would have anticipated based on the way that this half started.
Yeah, exactly. And for those people asking in chat who picked this map, it is Fenix Fire who picked this map. So one good general way, if you're not 100% sure, usually the team starting on CT side, they're the team that didn't pick the map, just because whoever picks the map, the other team picks the side. And most of these maps is going to be favored towards the CT. So hence, Fenix Fire on that T side, and they've picked up the amount of rounds that they were really shooting for. 6 already, and there's no money on the board for the CT, so they can get these pushing players out of A main. Ooh, Adwait down to 30 HP, though, so Salmo, he's going to get more aggressive here, and he will drop Adwait, so this is where things start to fall apart, but that B-side play, we see 2 of the CTs go down. Robbie still in the smoke here. He's going to try and peek out, and he gets one onto Silent, but Justin will finally trade back. It's a 2v2, though, as Ellie might get flanked here from Fabian. Will get that frag, though, and it's all up to Salmo. Creates it a 1v1. So Justin, that bomb in pretty much the worst possible situation, and he will peek the corner, though. Salmo, you saw the way he aimed. He suspected for sure that already the player was in sight, but it wasn't the case. So overcompensating with that aim and wasn't able to get the shot. So 8-7 halftime score. Fenix Fire is going to be feeling great about that moving into the CT half.
I honestly, oh man, the player that dropped in from, I think that was, oh man, who was it? Was it Fabian who dropped in on the vent there and got taken out by Ellie? I don't remember who it was. They had a 5-7 in hand, and they just couldn't find the shot. They heard the player, they dropped in, got a little over-eager, and just went for that spray with the 5-7. Couldn't pick up the frag, and they put it on the last man standing, which was Salma, who got that player, but then he's in a 1v1 instead of a 2v1, and he couldn't find the frag, obviously. The round did go to Fenix Fire, so they're going to close out at 8-7. Obviously, very happy with that after going down 5-0 to start that half. But we'll see what they can do on the CT side here. This is their map selection, so I'd assume they have something prepared here on Cash, unless I'm wrong and DwG just decided to start on the or Fenix Fire. I don't even know what I'm talking about here. Never mind. Ignore my mouth. It's broken.
Well, that's okay. I honestly do that all the time. I'm like, wait, who picked this map again? And then you go into, yeah. Anyhow, I know the feels, man. We're in pistol round number 2, though. And again, Fenix Fire, they picked this map. They're now heading over to that CT side. It all comes down to how well does DwG play on the T side of Cash. So we're going to find out here. Pistol round, crucial for them to pick up, as Fenix Fire, they're definitely going to have a strong CT side. We've seen them on this map before. Pretty darn good. So they're going to have a kit on Ellie and Adwait. So one on each site, and it is going to be a mid boost here from the T side. So Salmo, the first one over, Fabless right behind. And the other players working A main. So an A split here, Fabless gets a nice frag onto Ellie to open things up, but it's going to be up to Roberts as Justin actually puts down Salmo. Justin gets another one here. He gets a third, and he's going huge at the moment. Fabian is in A main, but Robbie, the one to watch out for. He's moved up through Z. Got Adwait as an unsuspecting play, really, and they're actually going to rotate back out. Fabian with the bomb on his back, and Robbie getting in a duel here that he is going to get put down to 9 HP, so he's actually going to try and get this headshot angle onto Silent. Both of them missing, though, and the B site now in control by the T's, but for how long?
And Fabian barely sneaks behind the bomb plant box. So they get that bomb down. That's going to be at least some money on the board for them. Justin with another headshot. He's going for the ace.
What a god.
Justin.
Oh my god.
I think that was a one-tap ace. What did I just watch? Picking up 3 with the USP, finds a P2K on the ground and picks up the last 2, and he's going to get the defuse. Oh my god. What a round from Justin there, holding it down for Fenix Fire, and they're going to tie the score up 8-8 right now. And obviously, they're going to be facing off against an Eco, but they did lose a lot of players, and DwG did get the bomb plant, so if they light buy here, they could potentially buy up in the next round and catch Fenix Fire off guard. You're going to see 5 FAMAS, a couple of defuse kits, and some nades on the side of Fenix Fire, Tech 9s, and armor on the other side. A Deagle on Salmo, Sin with the scout and head armor, actually, which is a little surprising, but I guess, you know, counting for the fact that they're going to have maybe some SMGs or some light rifles, and that is in case the fact, so we'll see what they do here in round number 17 as they're going to try and stop the bleeding now as Fenix Fire picked up the pistol.
Yeah, and they've got 4 players heading in through main. That flashbang, though, will set things back. Fabian coming from Squeaky Door, and I think the jig is up here. They know it's going to be an A-side play. Players already rotating, 3 CTs on site. This is going to be a little rough here, but again, they've got those Tech 9s. Anything's possible, and we're going to see 2 frags for other sides. So with 3v3 develops, Adwait, though, still alive on balcony. But the bomb will be planted. Fabulous getting that down to 4 HP, though, and Sin hits a nutty shot onto Ellie. But Adwait, again, he's still alive up on balcony. Eats a shot from the scout. Gets dropped very low. Now it's Salmo in a 1v2, and he's going to get dropped by Adwait. A sick headshot with the pistol. And Fenix Fire pick it up, but it's going to be a very expensive round. 3 frags and a bomb plant for DwG. That is pretty decent scenario. Obviously, they did invest in the round, but still not too shabby at all.
Yeah, unfortunately, they did buy armor on a bunch of players. Tech 9, Scouts, Deagles, etc. So not going to be able to go for that surprise buy here despite getting 2 bomb plants and I think a total of 8 kills. The first one was 3, the second one was also 3. It was actually 6 kills. I don't know where my math came from. Nonetheless, DwG is going to be on that armor Tech 9 buy yet again, which I'm kind of questioning it here because even though they did get both bomb plants, they're going to have to go, you know, on a lighter buy in the next round. If they lose this, they're going to go for the push in mid, and they're going to take down Ellie, who had a FAMAS on white box. Salmo down to 3 HP, though, and Silent's going to take down both of those players trying to push into Z. Gets a third one as well into Robbie 1, and this round is already showing to be a very strong one for DwG. Adwait stops the remaining 2 terrorists, Fabian and Sin. So a clean round there for Fenix Fire, only losing 1 player, and it was only a FAMAS. And you can see, again, the money is not necessarily amazing on the T side. They are able to get some AKs, but not necessarily full nades on all these players. Might be able to pick up an AWP if Fabulous decides to buy, but it looks like they're going to stick with 5 AKs here. And on the other side of the board, we still see FAMAS on Ellie, and no AWP from them either, so maybe not necessarily all that bad to not have one on the T side of DwG, but this is the round where they need to make something happen here. Otherwise, Fenix Fire could easily run away with this. So this will be interesting to see what happens here coming into round 19.
Oh, and they're spamming at this boost spot. Roberts will be able to get up there, but a little bit of fire put in their direction as suspecting this could be the case. That's Fabulous on the other side of the smoke, and hasn't been able to find anybody as of yet. Actually takes a little damage himself, but oh, he puts Justin down really low. This nade should finish him off, and it will. So a great opening from Fabulous. Some individual play coming out as they're just kind of working a picks round. They've got Robbie inside of Squeaky, and still Sin way over near B, and just waiting for some sort of aggression. So again, just watching all of their angles and trying to find a pick. Fabulous with 1. Let's see if he can get Roberts here. He will be able to drop that player, so great play from Fabulous. We can see he's definitely leading the team well as 24, 3, and 13, the top frag here. And they're going to be boosting over mid. Going to take the control, and it looks like they're opting to just rotate over, and this is a great play from them. A lot of picks on that A side. You can suspect that they've rotated men over there, and that was exactly the case. Silent was the only one actually still alive inside of the site. He goes down immediately Now Robbie getting a little bit aggressive out CT spawn area. It's going to be Ellie in a 1v5 where he's going to peek out here in just a moment. But what can he do? And he almost finishes off Salmo, but 4 HP left on him. Not a single frag on that CT side. So DwG, they take that rifle round with ease.
And Ellie went for the spam through the garage there with the FAMAS, and it was kind of funny to watch because I'm pretty sure Ellie hit probably like 6 or 7 times and only did like 32 damage.
Yeah.
That's just, you know, that thickness of that steel door combined with the low penetration damage from the FAMAS. So a nice round there from DwG, not losing a single player. It's going to put Fenix Fire on eco because despite the fact that they have won most of the rounds in this half, picking up the first 3, they've been very expensive rounds for them, losing multiple players every single time and giving bomb plants to DwG each time as well. So it looks like DwG could tie this up at 10-10. We've got ourselves a game here, ladies and gentlemen. If they had lost that, we'd be looking at potentially a game that was a runaway for Fenix Fire. Instead, making this 10-10, it could really go either way right now, but we're going to see what DwG brings to the table because they have suffered with the anti-ecos thus far. Fenix Fire obviously doing a lot with those Tech 9 armor buys in the first half, but this is a different story here. FAMAS, or not FAMAS, 5-7s and Deagles on the CT side of Fenix Fire. No armor, no kit, so obviously trying to shut down the push if they can. And it looks like they're going to be executing over towards A here. Fabulous gets the first frag, takes off the head of Justin, and here comes the push. Nades rain into sight. We'll see what they can do here. 40 seconds left on the clock as the remainder of these keys come over. Silent picking up 2-1D. Samuel and Robbie down. Nice shooting from him over on the forklift. Fabian and Sin there to trade out. Roberts and Silent. Ellie in the back of sight, holding down Quadbox with a 5-7. Takes down Fabulous, and now it is a 2v2.
Yeah, and he just needs to stay alive as Adwait coming up on the flank, and that's going to be a beautiful play from Fenix Fire. All started off with Silent hitting those huge headshots with the Deagle from Forklift. So, again, Ellie just played that to the T. Just needs to stay alive as Adwait was on his way, and as soon as he shows up, Ellie actually goes big, gets a frag himself, and then it's a 2v1 where they had no idea Adwait was on his way. So 11-9 here as Fenix. They pick up a nice round, and it's one that definitely DwG, they wanted to put on the board. If you can get a hold of those eco rounds, anti-eco rounds rather, they should be the less difficult rounds. But the problem is you're usually questioning what to do because there usually is creative play on those eco rounds. So Roberts will be able to open up with the first frag onto Fabulous. Robbie, though, will put one back into him. And actually, a wallbang takes down Robbie, so that is going to be some early frags here for the CT side. They've got a man advantage. Bomb situated right outside of A main. And they still have Sin rotating from B to mid. So slow round here after the frags occur, and I imagine we are going to see some smokes. Yeah, smokes onto the A side. They're going to be moving in here. Unless this is the fake. The thing is they haven't really committed. Sin still waiting to get up into main, and he will be flashed in. So waiting for his teammate. Justin alive at quad. Ellie coming up from highway. We're going to see an execute here in just a moment.
And look at the patience here from Fenix. Yeah, I tried to say 2 words at the same time. It almost even come out as me saying, "Look at the penis on Fenix Fire." I went to say Fenix Fire and patience at the same time, and that's what ended up happening. Bach making a fool of himself. Totally normal night on RGN. Ellie takes down 2 there. Samo and Sin off the board. Picks up the 3rd as well. A 3K there, dropping Fabian over towards Forklift. And do not combine the word Phoenix with anything that begins with P, because you might get that little slip, and then you might say Phoenix, and it sounds like penis. Yes, that's exactly what just happened. What I was going to say was, look at the patience from Fenix Fire here. They had 2 players sitting over in B, and even though there was a lot of time, or very little time left on the clock, and they had heard some noise over on A, they were just waiting and waiting and waiting because the bomb had not been spotted yet, and this map definitely plays itself to rotate, so you have to be patient. If you over-rotate, you can easily give up a bomb site to the T side, and that patience definitely paid off. They did end up executing towards A, but it didn't matter. Ellie came up with a big 3 frags to shut it down. Now DwG is going to be ecoing here, and you don't even see armor on any of these players. An MP7 on Fabian, maybe getting a little bit desperate here as they're going to need to pick up some rounds.
Yeah, we're going to see a B-side play as they're entering in Silent. He's going to get one Ellie with one as well, but Fabian with the MP7 is going to come up with 1 frag before we're going to see the CTs end the round. So only 1 frag there. Fenix Fire almost closing out this map as they are on 13 rounds. So 3 more to go. DwG going to be on a bit of a broken button. They're going to be able to get some weapons, but it is a bit of a kitchen sink buy, as the one and only Ricky Rath would put it. We've got a Tech 9 on Fabian, and Fabulous and Salmo. They're deciding what they want to buy. Inevitably, we'll see Salmo picking up that AK-47, but Fabulous, he's just hanging out with a Glock in spawn.
Yeah, I'm not sure what that's about, but we're going to see what they have in store for us here. It looks like maybe Fabulous is lagging out. Oh. And
yeah,
in round number 23, I mean, they've come so far. It's been such a good game. To see a player drop now would be a shame, but that just rhymed. That was not intentional. Ellie down to 6 HP, taking down Salmo, but it is going to be a 5v4 as they do lose Fabulous and Spawn, so I'm not sure what DwG is going to do here. It's already down to a 3v5. Would be very difficult to pull this off. They have an interesting boost going on over in A main as Roberts is boosted up on the box, and then on the other side of the wall, Justin boosted in Shroud spot. They're going to fall off, though, as now it's down to the 2 players remaining, Fabian and Sin. Fabian does have the bomb, and Sin with an AK. They're going to probably just try and get some frags here, try and hold on to these guns if possible. Fabian obviously has full armor, so that's the thing he's trying to save, not necessarily that Tech 9. A couple of grenades as well wouldn't hurt to hold on to those, but I imagine the CTs are going to go hunting right now as the money's pretty stacked on their side right now. You see the lowest player right now is Silent at 3450, and I'm not sure if that's because he had to rebuy an AWP. So even he is looking pretty good. He is the top fragger right now for the team at 26 and 15, looking to get that 30 bomb right now. Meanwhile, on the T side, you have Robbie1 sitting at 20 and 16, so a pretty good performance from him, but the rest of the team is definitely seeming to struggle. Sin, only 7 frags for him, 13 on Fabian and Salmo, and obviously since Fabulous is disconnected, we're not really going to know what he's got. Sin picks up 1, picks up 2 as well, as those CTs do go on the hunt. Silent and Adwait are down, and that might actually play a little bit into things here. Sin's going to go down to the AK of Justin, but Silent lost the AWP, and his money is not necessarily ideal, but it doesn't really matter. We're going to be sitting on a pause right now. Phoenix Fire picks up the 14th round, and unfortunately it does come on a round where a player disconnected, so they're only 2 rounds away from taking map number 1, which is Cash, and you can probably fill me in. What is map number 2, Sprawl?
Map number 2 is going to be Mirage, and then we'll have Overpass as the 3rd, and we've seen Paradox on Overpass, and they've done fairly well for themselves, so I think that that's a pretty nice random 3rd map for Paradox, and one knife for sides there, and I say Paradox, I mean Phoenix Fire. That was their old alias, and now they've been picked up, and we got Phoenix Fire and Phoenix Frost, kind of like Pokemon Red, Pokemon Blue, maybe, something like that, I don't know. Anyhow, good for them getting picked up, and we're just waiting for Fabulous to jump back into the server, and I do believe Fabulous was around something like 24 to like 27 frags, so he was doing work for his team, so the fact that he drops out in that round, that is definitely unfortunate from DwG. So again, we're just waiting for him to get back in the server. We don't really have any information on what's going on in terms of where he is, but I do have a little bit of information on giveaway stuff. So we do have a new giveaway for our followers. It's going to be at 60,000. So we're almost there, honestly. 60,000 followers. We're giving away a minimal wear AK case hardened. So I'm not sure what percentage of blue. That would be some cool information to know, but it is going to be a case hardened AK-47 again at 60,000. And then obviously we've got our 200 sub giveaway. That will be the Karambit Blue Steel. So if you guys want to get in on that, again, obviously following and subscribing, that would be the 2. So we appreciate any and all support, guys. And again, we love to give it back to everybody as much as we can. So again, we're just waiting for Fabulous to get back into the server. 14-9 scoreline. This is Phoenix Fire's map choice. Mirage will be DwG's. So Phoenix Fire can pick up this map. That would be nice for them because they're starting on the favorable side, the CT side on Mirage.
But then we have the, kind of questionable 3rd map of Overpass. I honestly don't really know what to expect from either of these teams. I do remember watching Phoenix Fire, which is the former Paradox lineup, play Overpass against a couple teams in our last tournament, and they did very good from what I recall. They had a couple close games, but they were very, very good in their losses. I think it was like they lost one 16-14, and then they won one 16-14. I think their only loss was to Torqued, if I'm not mistaken. So they lost a close one to Torqued, beat Area 51. I remember that. But nonetheless, Fabulous has reconnected, so we're going to be getting into round number 24 here. DwG has to do something. They're going to be sitting on a bit of a mixed buy here. Fabulous with the AK. Salmo was able to find an M4. But Tech9's on the rest, and, you know, we talked about how devastating that pistol can be. Flashes are going to rain over in mid, but there's no one there to even see them. Ellie playing way back on highway right now, but they have a two-man stack over there, and Roberts was boosted, but decides to fall down as Flashes obliterate his brain. It is going to be the push here. Coming up highway, Robbie one with the Tech9 takes down Roberts, who's boosted up aggressively. Justin on quad box is going to have to come up big. Tosses a nade out. Not able to make anything happen. Fabian, though, might be the big player here as he's pushing in from A main, and they might not see this coming. Justin gets 2, gets 3, including a barbecue frag. So now it's on Samo and Fabian. Fabian again getting a frag with that Tech9. He's been really good with it in this half, but it is a 2v3 here. Bomb's still not planted. 58 seconds left on the clock. They're going to have to make something happen, and now it's all on Fabian. AK in hand. 3 players to take down. Goes for the peek. Not able to find it. He might be able to drop ad weight if he gets a nice grenade. Not going to happen. Goes for the spray down. Does manage to find Silent, but Ellie takes him down. So that is 15 now for Fenix Fire. And DwG, they're not looking so hot right now. They're going to have to win 6 straight if they want to force an overtime.
Yeah, it's a bit of a tall order on the T side here, especially with Fenix Fire looking the way they have been. And we see Roberts picking up the Scar 20, the auto snipper. We'll see where he chooses to go with that, as he's going to be playing over on the A site. Silent with his AWP in hand. He's checking into B halls right now. So Fabulous is aggressively pushing up in main. Robbie coming in squeaky as well. So the dynamic duo here. We've seen Fabulous work quite a few impressive peaks and picks over near A main, but Silent actually gets aggressive, drops Sin. And we've been talking about Sin a little bit lackluster in this map. He's got 9 frags to his name. Needs to come up a little bit bigger than that, and Justin drops Robbie as he's going to peek out a squeaky. So already things falling apart. 5v3 here, and again, with the equipment that we see on the field, this is going to be pretty rough. As soon as they start to run out, it's going to be Roberts with the Scar 20. I don't think he's fired a shot yet. I could be just deaf, though. Okay, there we go. Here we go. And he gets a first headshot through the wall into Salmo. Going to try and drop Fabulous. Fabulous gets the frag, though. So a 2v4, but looking bleak here as Fabulous on 12 HP. Fabian does have full HP, but again, 4 CTs left up. 35 seconds. Let's see what they can do here.
It's going to be a hard one to do here. Obviously, down 6 rounds. They need to win out right now. They're facing against Game Point right now. Justin peeking and taking down Fabulous. Fabian with some wild spray. Able to find Ellie somehow. Gets Justin as well. Makes it a 1v2. It's now him versus Silent and Adway. A nice nade might put Silent pretty low. Down to 7 HP. He's got a second nade. If he tosses it, might be able to take out Silent. We'll see what he does with it. Molly's going to rain to the site. Maybe force Fabian out, but it's not hitting him, just on the edge. Silent coming around the corner, might get taken down. He does, so now Fabian might be able to pick up a big clutch here. It's a 1v4. If he can pull this off, it would be huge, but Adweight shuts it out. And that's going to be the first map going to Fenix Fire here. 16-9 over DwG on cash, and we're going to be moving over to Mirage.
Yeah, certainly we are. So guys, taking a very short commercial break here, but when we return, map